Hello, welcome. My name is Jess. This is Ocean Within Yoga. Today is a short tutorial on headstand. We'll go over two different variations, tripod headstand and traditional headstand. Just know if this is your first time practicing headstand, take it easy. It's all about the journey. We'll get to that destination regardless. We'll go ahead and begin in a tabletop position. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Fingertips spread wide. Lower down to your forearms, creating the number 11. Reach for opposite elbow. We want about elbow distance together. Interlace your hands. A couple options. You can interlace, you could cup one hand into a fist, the other around. I personally prefer to interlace. Now, before we begin, press your forearms into the earth. Notice what happens when you press your forearms and lift your chest. Now engage your biceps. Engage your core. Notice the feeling here. Can you keep this engagement? Okay, now release. Engage. Release. Engage. Okay, I want you to stay engaged this entire time. Head comes down. I'm placing my head down, and then I'm scooching my head back to my hands. Now I'm not crunching my neck. I'm trying to create a nice straight line of energy, and most of the weight isn't even on my head. It's on my forearms because I'm engaged. This is where we can stay. Or curl your back toes under. Just play with lifting your knees and lowering your knees. As you lift and lower, can you try and keep weight off your head more into your forearms? Keep the engagement through your body. 2 more. Last one. Pause. Walk your toes forward. Walk your toes back. Keep engagement. Walk your toes forward. Walk your toes back. Every time you come forward, can you get your toes a little bit closer to your head? Our goal here is to bring our hips over our shoulders. 1 more. We'll pause with our toes towards our head. Play with lifting one foot. Lift the other foot. Bring your big toes to touch. Squeeze your glutes, point your toes. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Breathe. To exit, slowly lower one foot, then the other. Bend your knees. Come into a child's pose. Anytime we come out of a headstand, we take a child's pose. So that way we can allow our body to soften versus getting right up. And press into your palms. Slowly come back to a seat. Whew, okay. Tripod headstand, a little different. Creating a tripod here. So for tripod, got both hands down. Head's gonna come forward, bending the elbows back rather than out, they're back. Head comes down to the earth. Again, I'm not crunching forward. I'm finding that sweet spot right in the middle. My chin isn't rounded in. And from here, I'm pressing down, weights into my palms, back toes curl under. Walk your toes towards your head. Option to bring one knee to tricep, other knee to tricep. Great place to hang out. Or press it into your palms. Lift one foot, lift the other foot to join. Point your toes, squeeze your glutes. And we exit the same way. One foot down, other foot down, knees down, glutes to heels, child's pose, arms out long, head hangs heavy. Breathe. And press into your palms. Walk your hands back to a seat. Now you may find that you like one variation more than the other. Me personally, I like traditional headstand. Being in tripod, for me, puts a lot of weight on my head, which I don't always love. You're always welcome to place your mat longwise against a wall. And if you're going against a wall, it's really similar, except with a wall, instead of kicking up, I'm going to show you real quick. I'm going to come down, setting up for a headstand. I'm on hardwood floor, so Yeah, I'm gonna make sure that I'm pressing into my forearms. Walk your toes all the way up, and then maybe try to press one foot up and make a little hop. Then bring your other foot to join. Point your toes, and if you fall back, look, we got our wall right here, but we want to point our toes. Oftentimes I'll see this, rounding. If you're rounding, press your heels, tuck, core in, point one toe, press, 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 bring your other foot. You can play with exiting, bringing your knees to your chest, and slowly lower feet to earth. Child's pose. When you're ready, slowly lift back up. And there you have it. Be careful you're kicking up, especially in a studio with mirrors. One time a student broke a mirror by kicking up really hard. If you can, avoid kicking up. Notice how I did a little hop versus a little whoop over, because we want to create stability and control. Now, if you're feeling like, hey, that's a lot of pressure on my forearms, on my head, what that means is we just need to build a little bit more strength in your arms. We never want to tuck and curl here. We want to make sure we're protecting our neck. For me, when I started headstand, I was putting so much pressure on my head and not enough into my actual forearms. And I didn't really have the strength built up in my forearms. Now, if you're looking to build more strength in your forearms, chaturangas are great. Reason being is because when we're in a chaturanga, like a high plank, and we're lowering down, I'm building muscle here. I'm pressing palms, I'm engaging. Then coming to an up dog, now I'm opening up. Shift back to down dog. Practicing your chaturangas is going to help you build more strength in your headstand. But remember, it's about the journey. If you're ever practicing headstand in class, I always recommend going by a wall, especially if you're new. That way when the teacher cues it, you've got the wall space. Sometimes I'll see people topple over. I'm going to show you what to avoid when toppling over. This is what I'll see often. Let's move these blocks. Okay. So I'll see this often. I'll see a student put their head in. I'll see them tucked, chin to chest, which is not what we want. Reason being is because watch, when I come up and I don't walk my toes to my head, what happens? What happens? I'm just sitting here flopping, and then at some point I might topple over. But if I'm closer up, head is flat, come onto my tippy toes, one foot up, the other foot can join, and toes together. Sometimes I'll see this, student will topple over. And we want to avoid that. Why? Because there might be someone in front of us. So if we can, we want our toes to go back, and that's not the safest position for our head. That wasn't very fun. So take your time getting into this. Again, even if you're just in the preparation for a headstand, and this is it today, just engaging, playing with that, that's okay. We never want to rush into anything and get injured. That's the most important part. Yoga will be here. It's not going anywhere. Your headstand will be there. It's not going anywhere. So take your time. Be gentle. Happy to answer any questions that you may have. Leave them in the comments below. Thank you so much for your time. I'll see you next time. Thank you.